Hey guys, welcome back to the Suerte Panda channel. So today I want to go over some Solana and Terra Luna projects that are soon to eclipse the competition. There's a lot of cool stuff coming out. So this one, well, technically Lido is already on Solana. They right now you can bond ETH and you can bond uh, some Terra. Oh well, sorry. So you can bond your Ethereum and your Luna, um, and then you can take the bonded ETH and the bonded Luna, and what you can do is you can borrow some UST against it, and then you can redeposit it into Anchor for 19% interest rates. But what I'm really interested in is since there's already staked Solana, so it's ST Sol. But right now, I'm waiting for like a way to turn that into B Sol, so similar to B ETH or B Luna. Um, more on that stuff in a minute. But like I'm really interested in bonded Sol, so this way I can also borrow UST against my Solana tokens to deposit some money into Anchor to get 19%. Right now, like if you stake Solana and you'll get a ST Sol. Um, right now, like it kind of hovers between like 6 and 7%, which isn't bad. But I would like to kind of juice that up a little bit. Um, and then the next project I want to cover that's related to the Solana ecosystem is a project called Solend. So it's sort of like Aave, where you can deposit certain collateral and then borrow stuff against it. And right now, I think like it's kind of winding down, but like there's also SLND tokens that you can kind of earn if you deposit like certain collateral. So right now, like if you, I think this is like the wormhole version of Ethereum. Don't quote me on that. But I think that's what that is. Wormhole's a bridge that you can bridge between different ecosystems. So I think it's right now it's ETH, Solana, and the Terra Luna ecosystem. But anyway, um, so if if you put in some of that wrapped ETH or worm like that wormhole ETH, you can get like a seven like a 7% APY, which is not nothing to jump up and down about, but like it's still better than like or it's kind of competitive against like other options. So like for example, if you stake ETH in with Lido, and to get ST ETH, I think that's like like 5-ish%. So this is a little bit better. And then like but part of it is like it's paid to you in SLND tokens. So if you want to check that out, and there's also other collateral that you can kind of put in. So this could be an interesting project. And in fact, Aave themselves are like are investors in Solend, so it's kind of interesting to see them invest in like a competitor, but on like a different blockchain. So that there's something this could be interesting in the future. Like if we are in a bear market, you can borrow like stable coins and then use that to do some other farming. Um, so there's that. And then as far as like the Terra ecosystem, like I feel like it's like really booming. There's a lot of cool stuff coming out. Um, so I want to like point out like Kujira Orca. But by the way, all these projects will be linked in the description. Because there's like so much and like it's hard to keep track of everything. But anyway, so what you can do on Kujira Orca, you can potentially put in bids at a so you can get some assets at a discount. So right now, uh, what's available is B ETH and then B Luna. And what's cool about that is like you can kind of bypass all the staking and then converting, and just like get the B assets themselves, like or in other words, the bonded assets. And then once you do that, you can um, post it as collateral on Anchor, and then borrow UST and get that 19% interest rate while it's still here. Hopefully it lasts for a little bit. But anyway, like what could be confusing about Kujira is that like what we think about as a discount, they call it premium. So if you want to buy stuff at a premium, it's really like a discount. Like so, for example, I put in like a small order to get some B Luna, and as you can see, like I put it in like the 5% discount category. So like this like little purple area is where I still have like some outstanding UST working for me, and right now I've filled about like a small amount. As you can see, this is like 2.988. So there's like a little bit more that's like still working. As you can see in like uh this little screen over here. So I have like 349 dollars like still working. And I don't mind like I'll wait a little bit more to see if I can get B Luna at a cheaper price. Um and like there's a few steps. Like you have to first put your bid, and then you have to activate your bid, and then once that's active, then you'll see it in like the my bid section as active. Because I initially for one of my bids, I kind of just let it sit there for a while, and then I was wondering why nothing was happening, but I forgot to activate it. So that's just something for you to be aware of. And let's see what else can I show you. Okay, so the next one is Stater Labs. So this is pretty cool. So in the past, I was staking my Luna on the Terra Station wallet, but I switched over to Stater because this way you have a pool. It's almost like a mutual fund or like an ETF of like validators, and there's like a few different ones that you can check out. Like there's one that this blue chip, one's called Community, and one's called Airdrops Plus. The reason why I put it with a blue chip and airdrops plus is because it's just my preference. I think all of these are actually fine. I guess, but with the blue chip, like it's more of a like a slightly safer play. Um, and that like it's like minimal like downtime. But with airdrops plus, you can get like the ones that like stake with validators that might have projects coming out and that they'll drop airdrops uh like their tokens with you. So that's why the APR is a little bit higher over here. But I think like all of these are actually fine. Um, and there might be more coming up. And what it does is it compounds like all the smaller tokens like there's like because in addition to UST there's a bunch of like other like their algorithmic version of like fiat currencies that they kind of round up and then they just like redeposit it back into like kind of like a pool and then reinvest it into Luna. So that's really cool. And then the next one is you can actually stake it directly. Um, but the cool thing is like once you stake, you can get something called Luna X in return. And this is kind of like a liquid staking token, similar to how like if you deposit into Luna uh, into with Lido, then you can get like B Luna. So like Luna X is kind of like a competitor, and I'm really interested to see like what can be done with this. Like supposedly there will be leverage yield farming, but for me, like I kind of want like a way to use Luna X where you can borrow UST against it and then again deposit it into Anchor for like another like 19% return on like the Luna. Um, but anyway, um, so so right now there's a liquidity like mining program going on. So like I deposit like a small amount of Luna, and then also with my Luna X, and then this way you can generate some SD tokens as well. And then like this is again, hopefully like a bonded Luna X token is coming out, and then this way, you know, uh, hopefully use it to borrow some UST against it. And then the next one is really cool, like the Astroport. When I read the white paper, it kind of reminded me of kind of like a combination of like Curve and Sushi Swap, but that remains to be seen. Um, so what I did was I just put in like a small amount of Luna and UST uh, pool. So basically they're sort of sort of like Luna's version of like maybe like Curve and Sushi Swap like combined. Uh, and then there's just a way for people to swap like the different tokens. So right now there's like what they call like a lock drop um token. Like a lot like a lock drop liquidity mining program going on so that you can get like some Astro tokens. And for the Luna UST pool, like I put it up to I think 52 weeks because I want to get like the most amount of like Astro. But the bad thing is like I'm kind of locking up like some money in there. But I think Astro could be like uh like a huge project for like the entire Terra Luna ecosystem. So I'm happy to support them in any way I can because I like Curve. That's like the Curve Finance project that's on like the other projects. Sorry, on the other chains. Where it's not just like a stable swap. But they're also like sort of like moving into like different uh pairs where like there'll be like impermanent loss, but then there's also like a chance for like impermanent profit. So like Curve is really exciting, and this could be like the Terra Luna's version of that. Uh, but but again, it remains to be seen. Like hopefully, like the same time next year, like in late 2022, like I hopefully I made the right call, and like the Astro token is either appreciating or you could use it to kind of enhance like the Terra Luna ecosystem. So like this is what they're trying to like replace. Like there's like this old Terra swap, and there's not like that much like interesting things going on here. Uh, but uh, in order to like to put uh like a liquidity pair, you have to kind of create it in Terra swaps first. So this is where you'd go. You put in like I guess how many in equal value of Luna and UST, and then you just deposit it into this liquidity uh, mining pool, and then this way like you can start mining like Astro tokens, um, and then finally there's like just like general caveats for all these projects that are mentioned. There's always like contracts risk, and then some of these projects are still in progress, so um, just be aware of that. Like, since this is DeFi, everything's new, and then there's always like hackers and bad people out there trying to take your money. But it's not that different from like the real life. Like, there's always going to be bad people. Like, you just have to be aware of that and try to take like the you know safety measures against it. So finally, which is better? I'm having a hard time like deciding which is where to put more of my money into either Solana and Terra. Um, like some of those Solana projects, they have like really good like a user interface. And then but like for Terra Luna, it costs a little bit more, but I find it like sometimes it's easier to use. But I mean, they're both like equal. I think the both ecosystems are really good in their own way. Like Terra Luna, like they have like their stable coins. So I would say like UST is kind of like their main like the flagship product along with like the anchor project. Because I mean, where can you find like a fixed like 19% yield nowadays? Regardless if it's DeFi or or like in the real TradFi world. But anyway, so I'm throwing my money in like both of them. Like it's really hard for me to pick a favorite. I mean, yeah, sometimes like Solana, like there's like they went down once, and then they almost went down a second time, but it was more like a clog rather than like a full shutdown. So that's why recently like Solana, like the token is kind of getting beat up a little bit. But I think, I mean, they're like both these ecosystems are relatively new, and I think there's still upside. I mean, it'll be bumpy just because of we're probably heading into a bear market. Like I'm really hoping I'm wrong. But like these two ecosystems, like they continue to build. So I think like all the projects that I mentioned earlier, like I think they'll be like game changers in the making. But again, this is just my speculation, and of course, as always, this is not financial advice or gambling advice or any type of advice. This is just me, putting my money to work, and I'm kind of sharing it with you guys, and hopefully, you learn and find something interesting. If you like this content, please consider giving it a like and subscribing. As a small time YouTuber, like every subscriber like just means a lot to me. So thank you very much and have a great day.